The Jet Set Breakfast on SAFM. Destination unknown.
Now, we are talking about technology. The world's largest Mandela Day coding event is set to happen this year. Coding for Mandela. That's the hashtag, Coding for Mandela 2025. We are joined by Jackson Tshabalala, who's the Global Engagement Manager for Lever Foundation, leading the Tangible Africa project. Thank you very much for joining us, Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having me. What an amazing introduction. I'm even excited again.
I'm glad you're excited. We are jet setting. That's what we are doing this morning. And we
Tell me
love
about it.
anything to do with upholding the legacy of Utata Nelson Mandela. But when it's mixed and intertwined with the technology, it makes it even so much better. So let's talk about the hashtag Coding for Mandela and when it's going to be taking place.
All right, thank you. So the hashtag Coding for Mandela usually takes place on the 18th of July. But this year, because it's school holidays at that time, we'll be hosting it on that week afterwards. So some schools will be participating on the 22nd, 23rd, but our major ones will be on the 24th of July in different places across South Africa and Africa. And this is basically a tournament that the learners who have gone through the Tangible Africa coding initiative have played in their schools, and now we're saying compete and choose the best, because Coding for Mandela doesn't only end on the 24th of July. We've also created a Coding for Mandela World Champs, where we get international schools as part of this tournament on the 30th of September, where schools from Ireland, Finland, Germany, South America in some places, Asia in some places, the USA, a World Cup of Coding for Mandela, where learners come together online and they face off in great challenges that we've created.
Now, Jackson, when we are talking about coding, a lot of us know that it has to do with ICT, but we don't realize how young people, because you are working with young people from as early as grade R, which is like 5, 6 years
Yes.
of age, how young
Yes.
people can be involved in it. So tell us what coding is, what is entailed within coding, and also why is it such an essential skill for the workplace, for development moving forward?
Thank you so much for that question. I think it's so important because as part of our taglines, we say we demystify coding. Most of the time, people will speak about coding in the coding languages that people use, like C#, JavaScript, Python, etc. But in its basic form, coding is simply a list of instructions that tell a computer what to do. Now, we can go to primary school level learners who follow instructions every day and relate that to them, so that from an early age, they can learn coding concepts. And that's where Tangible comes in. We don't use any computers. We don't use any internet. We use basic puzzle pieces, a basic app on a low-cost mobile device, and we teach these concepts. And the reason this is important is because the world, I keep on saying it's becoming more digital, but it is very digital already. And there's a digital divide. So many people from under-resourced communities, under-resourced schools don't have the resources to run coding labs in their schools. Out of 25,000 schools in the country, 16,000 don't have labs. That's more than half. And for those who do, they might be dysfunctional or the teachers might not be ready. And in a world where the economy is becoming digital, in the digital economy, they need to know these skills. So whether you're going to be a software developer or a doctor that's going to use artificial intelligence to help track the next revelation in surgery, or the lawyer that's going to use AI and large language models to find historical stories and references for their case, this is where this comes in place. So for those who work in the tech field and for those who not work in the tech field, need to learn computational thinking and problem solving to navigate the digital economy, and that's where we come in.
Now, when it comes to Coding for Mandela tournament, maybe let's talk about in depth what the goal for the initiative is. And I know there's a grand prize of about 50,000 Rand, but what is the actual goal and how do young people get to that part of even winning this 50,000 Rand?
Great. So what the prizes and what the amounts that are won, so it's prizes worth up to 50,000 Rand. And then what happens is That's just the carrot that excites them for the tournament, because if you're going to compete, you want to win something. But the real goal is, yes, we are bridging a digital divide with our low-tech tool, but we're also bridging a social divide by getting learners from under-resourced schools and resourced schools in townships, in suburbs, in rural places, competing in the same tournament using the same tools, requiring the same skills. So no one has an advantage over anyone else. And then those kids, those young learners, can see themselves as equal. They don't feel like, oh, because you have that, you're better than me. So there's a big social divide that's created. And a big thing that we really focus on when it comes to our coding project: communication and collaboration and creative problem solving. And it works better when we do it in that small team that they have, and watching other people and bringing in that competitive spirit. So those are some of the benefits. And of course, for the teams that enter the international tournament, to have this at an even broader scale.
Now, how can coding be used to equip young people and to get them excited about robotics? And also, do young people need to be involved in the STEM subjects in order for them to comprehend and partake in coding?
So how young people can get involved in this? So our entire approach is gamified, actually. So we have a mobile app and we have puzzle pieces, and they are digital natives. They just take it and figure it out. When we do teacher training, it's the funniest thing. We've witnessed many times, countless times, that the learners grasp it quicker than the teachers. We just allow the teachers to be able to facilitate the session, but the learners are really the ones who come up with the best solutions to problems. And that gets them excited for STEM subjects, because STEM subjects are really problem based, and it's all about experiential learning. So it's not something that they can use rote learning or memorization for, but they have to fail, practice, debug, and try again. The reason this is important: they don't have to do STEM subjects in order to learn coding and problem solving, but we encourage STEM subjects because of the problem solving in mathematics, and that's what you need in order to get into a tertiary course that's going to teach you something like coding or computer sciences. So we are from the Nelson Mandela University, the computer sciences department specifically, and we are trying to get learners to see how this can be engaging and fun, so that they can take maths and so that they can get into a STEM subject, preferably computer science for us, so that they can be ready for that world. And they don't necessarily need to, but that's what we encourage, so that they can get into a good tertiary institution.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jackson, and we look forward to this marathon that's going to be happening. Have a good day further. It's a minute after 8.